Jennifer Aniston, Nelson Mandela, and the Arab Spring are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is February 11th, 2021. It is the 42nd day of the year. We got 323 days left. It is the 6th Thursday of 2021, and there are 350 days until Repeal Day, so maybe we can all celebrate together by then. Hopefully the pandemic's lifted and we can all go to a bar together, each and every one of you, all 500,000 of my subscribers from my other channel too. That'd be great. Anyway, today is International Day of Women and Girls in Science. International Day of Women and Girls in Science seeks to recognize the achievements of women and girls in science. This day encourages more women and girls to seek out STEM-related fields. STEM includes science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. According to the National Science Foundation, women made up only 29% of those employed in science and engineering occupations in 2017. International Women and Girls Day in Science was established in 2015 by the UN General Assembly. It is observed annually on February 11th. That's from their website. If you ever want to see a great movie, watch Hidden Figures from 2015. It's a really good movie. It's about a group of black female mathematicians that help NASA win the space race, basically. It's a great movie. I think I've watched it twice. It's really good. Great acting. All right, let's see what else happened on February 11th. 1938, BBC Television produces the world's first ever science fiction television program, an adaptation of a section of the play RUR that coined the term robot. I don't know if it's short for RUR. I've never heard about it before right now, but it's R.U.R. I guess it's a play. I don't know much about it. I tried to look it up to see if I can get what actually people call it. Couldn't find anything. But yeah, that was the first time they had used the word robot. 1953, the Cold War. U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower denies all appeals for clemency from Julius and Ethel Rosenberg. They were American citizens who were convicted of spying on behalf of the Soviet Union and sentenced to death. On January 19, 1953, the executions took place. Julius died after the first electric shock. Ethel's execution did not go as smoothly. After she was given the normal course of 3 electric shocks, attendants removed all her straps and everything like that, and the doctors determined that Ethel's heart was still beating. 2 more electric shocks were applied, and at the conclusion, eyewitnesses reported smoke coming from her ears. So I guess the job was done. I looked it up, and they actually list who the executioner was. That's kind of weird. 1990, Nelson Mandela is released from prison outside Cape Town, South Africa, after 27 years as a political prisoner. Nelson Mandela was a South African anti-apartheid revolutionary, political leader, and philanthropist who served as the president of South Africa from 1994 to 1999. He was the country's first black head of state and the first elected in a fully representative democratic election. Prior to him, blacks weren't allowed to vote in the elections. When I was in high school, I learned about him when I started listening to reggae music, of all things. Yeah. Oddly enough, they kept saying his name. I knew nothing about him, so I started doing some reading and some researching on him. And this led me to learning a lot about him and what he was going through at the time. He was still in prison while all this was going on. This guy got one of the world's rawest deals. Most of the time in prison was spent in an 8x10 concrete cell with no running water and a straw mat to sleep on. His toilet was a metal trash can. Little small one that he had to use. While in prison, he spent most of his time breaking down limestone with a sledgehammer. Yeah, like the old making gravel type things you saw in old movies. That's what he did. Since it was limestone and the sun, he wasn't allowed to wear sunglasses, so his eyesight was permanently damaged through all this. Also, during his time, he worked on his law degree and he wrote a biography which was smuggled out of the prison and published in London originally. And he was kind of able to do some things in prison for a while. He had certain, he could get visitors and he could get letters from the outside. But once they found out about this biography, all that was taken away from him. And he was, that's when he got the straw mat and all that stuff. That was in 1975. But he was finally released from prison and went on to be the president and held a bunch of other positions in the South African government. Even in what he called retirement, he continued activism and philanthropy. After suffering from a prolonged respiratory infection, Mandela died on 5 December 2013 at the age of 95. 1997, the Space Shuttle Discovery is launched on a mission to service the Hubble telescope. Now, if you ever get a chance, do some reading on the Hubble telescope and, all the drama that surrounded it. They launched it up and one of the lenses was askew, so They couldn't get good pictures for a while, and just all the beautiful things that telescope has given us. It's amazing. 2001, a Dutch programmer launches the Anna Kournikova virus, infecting millions of emails via a trick photo of tennis star Anna Kournikova. So he sent all these emails out of a picture of Anna Kournikova, and it said something like Anna Kournikova nudes or something weird like that. And if you clicked on it, it infected your computer. Oddly enough, 90% of the computers infected were owned by men. Imagine that. 2011, the Arab Spring. The first wave of the Egyptian revolution culminates in the resignation of Hosni Mubarak and the transfer of power to the Supreme Military Council after 17 days of protests. The Arab Spring was an incredible thing. Now, this happened in 2011, and all these Arab governments basically fell. Libya, Egypt, Yemen, Tunisia. Now, that's just not those four. Lebanon, Jordan, Kuwait, Oman, Sudan, Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, Algeria, Monaco, they all saw protests. Some of them were pretty big, and some of them were armed. Basically, it began in response to oppressive regimes and the low standard of living, starting off with Tunisia, and it just spread. The people got tired of having extremely rich leaders, and they were dirt poor in a lot of cases. To a degree, I think that's kind of what we're seeing here in the United States. I mean, besides everything else, you just see a lot of different protests, right or wrong. I'm not getting on that side of it, but I think a lot of the anger, the underlying factor is people are getting poorer. I mean, the middle class is disappearing, and you have more people that are living in poverty than pretty much ever before. Percentage, not counting things like depression and things like that. I'm talking normal times. Who knows? I'm not a politician. 2013, the Vatican confirms that Pope Benedict would resign the papacy as a result of his advanced age. 2017, North Korea test fires a ballistic missile across the Sea of Japan, basically making a lot of people wet their pants real quick. Movies released on February 11th, 2000, The Beach with Leonardo DiCaprio and a bunch of other people. That was a good movie. Oddly enough, not a lot of people saw it, I don't think, but I enjoyed it. It was a really neat movie. Born on February 11th, 1969, Jennifer Aniston, American actress and producer. She is best known for a role on the sitcom Friends. Her character became widely popular and is regarded as one of the greatest female characters in television history, and everyone got their haircut just like hers every single season. I remember that. It's like you could watch Friends and see what everyone's hair was going to look like 3 weeks later. It was kind of weird. Died on February 11th, 2012. We lost Whitney Houston, American singer, songwriter, producer, and actress. She is the most awarded female artist of all time by Guinness Book of World Records and is one of the best-selling recording artists of all times with sales over 200 million records worldwide. She died at the age 48 after drowning in a bathtub while being under the influence of illegal as well as prescription drugs. That was a loss. She was very talented. She was a mess, and we all knew it. I mean, we all saw it on, television that she was just falling apart for a long time, but you can't deny she was talented and had a beautiful voice. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a great Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What day is this? Now go out, have a great Thursday. Be nice to each other.